Hey y'all! So excited for tonight. I can't wait for a few to hop on. So if you are watching the replay of this, I don't want you to have to wait for all of them. I want to tell you to welcome. I'm Moni Amandla. Cannot wait to talk to you tonight to share with you some tips and tools for how to support your immune system during the winter months and the upcoming holidays. So excited about that. So if you're watching on YouTube, I want to welcome you here to Moni Amandla's Total Life Wellness. If you are watching on Facebook, I want to invite you to also make sure you go over to YouTube and subscribe so that I can participate with you and interact with you. And so as we allow a few people to hop on, I didn't want a lot of dead air time. I had to get myself pumped up and listen to my music. A lot of people ask me what this is that I'm listening to. It is actually traditional African folk music, and I enjoy it because it's uplifting, it's fun, it's centering, and so that's what I'm listening to. It's something that I found on YouTube, so I'll make sure that I post it below. So let me know where you are watching from. I can't wait to address you, say hi to you, and I'm going to give it about 60 seconds before we hop right on in to 10 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 ways to support your immune system during the holidays and the winter months ahead. So let me know who you are, and I'll be sure to greet you. You'll see me kind of looking over here in both places because we're broadcasting from two different places. And I can go ahead and turn this down now because you probably can't hear me. I was getting my jam session on. But let's see. Where do I see myself here? Let me refresh, and we'll get ready to get started in just a moment. Okay. Yeah, man. All right. We are live, and I am here. Okay. So I want to first start off by giving a little bit of background about myself, and then I'll hop right on into it. That'll give a few more people an opportunity to hop on. Hopefully, everybody can hear me okay. I might want to go ahead and hook my mic up because if you can't hear me, then that would be why, huh? Y'all got to give me a break. It's been a minute since I've been on here regularly, so I'll go ahead and hook this up right quick. Oh, no. Here we go. We on? Yep, we're on. So if you can still hear me, hopefully you can give me a hello or something of the like. Or if you can't hear me, let me know. So, a little bit of background about myself for those of you who do not know or are not as familiar with my work. I am a product formulator. I do a lot in the science realm and a lot with herbalism. They call me the modern day medicine woman. I didn't give myself that name. The name was given to me, and I thought, you know what? I can run with that. So you'll hear people kind of naming me based upon what I do. So sometimes I'll do spiritual counseling. Sometimes I will be working with doctors to help patients who aren't responding to traditional allopathic medicine, such as pharmaceutical drugs or the traditional care. They will reach out to me and say, hey, Moni, can you help create a formula? My patient is having this, and this. And I'll go through, I'll read the labs and really pray and see what I can download about the patient, and then use that which I've studied since I was a little girl to help put formulas together for them. And so I've been doing this for a very, very, very long time. I remember being a little girl and my grandmother giving me these huge books. I wasn't really interested in the old school Judy Blooms and all of those things. I was more interested in pharmacology. I was interested in the human body. It was like I was obsessed with understanding how it worked, and I would take these huge thick books and I would go page after page after page, reading and reading and reading, because I hated watching people suffer. I hated sickness. Okay, I mean that's the bottom line. There was just something about it that made my mind kind of trigger and want to see what I could do to fix it. And so I've been like that all my life. I've been a nurturer, a fixer, so to speak. And so everybody in my life, I'm either the little sister to only a couple, but for the most part, I'm the big sis, the mom, the auntie to so many people who call me either for advice or, how do I treat this or how do I treat that? And usually I am pretty good at it. Those who are familiar with my work pretty much are those who are in this space. And so there's a lot more people who I want to help get familiar in this year and in the years to come with the way that I do things. And I do a practice that I call ancestral medicine. Okay. Ancestral medicine basically is a way of looking at the body, not just from a surface symptom standpoint. It's more so looking at everything that the body is communicating because our bodies are so full of wisdom. They're so full of information, right? It's always communicating, but we don't always know how to listen. Right. And so I remember when I was first taught how to do this and looking at what corresponds to what, let me just kind of give you all an example. So, for example, let's say that someone was having problems with their vision. A lot of times, vision issues originate within the gut, right? And so you might think, well, how is that even related? Well, it actually is. And so if I'm listening to what the body is communicating, that's really what it is. A lot of gallbladder issues are hidden resentment, hidden anger, things that they haven't dealt with, unforgiveness. Same thing with the liver, right? And so sometimes it requires an herbal treatment, and sometimes it requires more of a spiritual or releasing treatment, and boom, that person is all better because that energy is stuck in those various places in the body. And so when the physicians or the DOs or the chiropractors or the nurses or whomever, I mean, I've literally helped clients everywhere from, all over the United States to Singapore to the UK to France. People who hear about my work and what I do, they come, and I have been tremendously blessed to be able to help people feel better and to end their suffering for a living. I can't think of anything quite as fulfilling as what I get to do every day. And so I wanted to kind of share some of that with some of you who may not be familiar with me or what I do, because I don't, my biggest problem had been, and some of you, have you ever felt like you feel weird about talking about yourself? Like about what you do. I don't know why I've been like that. It takes me a lot to say, oh, well, I'm Moni and I do blah, 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 blah. Because I used to think like, well, I don't want to sound braggadocious or I don't want to this because I love public speaking. Got to speak at Steve Harvey's conference, sharing what I do right before the pandemic, and have just have been seated with people that I never, ever, ever imagined that would become my clients, right? I can't tell who they are, but you get what I'm saying. But it's just been an amazing journey for me. And so I want to start coming on here every Tuesday. So I want you to mark your calendars, because if there is for some reason that I cannot make it, I'm going to do some live. I'm going to do some pre-recorded videos so that you all will be able to get valuable content and information that you can now take to your own families, right? And to your own communities and spread this knowledge, because it does me no good to have all this knowledge all in my head on certain things that you can do to help you live the best life. I want you all to get this information. And so later I'm going to be putting together certification classes and things like that really teach you how to hone in, how to look at the body, how to understand the body. Because so many times I'll never forget, sometimes I'll have especially doctors who for whatever reason they think I'm a doctor. I am not. And so I am an herbalist. I considered a scientist, a product formulator. That's what I do. I formulate nutraceuticals. And people say, well, what is a nutraceutical? Basically, it's like a medical grade vitamin, so to speak, right? It's different herbs, it's different nutraceutical supplements. It's essentially what it is, okay, under that category. So with that being said, tonight I wanted to come to you to share some different kind of tips. I know earlier in the year, so many of you requested my document on the exact milligrams to take to support your immune system with various things like your vitamin C's, your vitamin D, your zinc, your quercetin, etc. I've got an entire list, and I got a ton of requests sent to me and my team, and we were able to send out those documents for you to be able to have and print out on hand. If you have not received that, you can send an email to my team at totallifewellnessnow@gmail.com. That's totallifewellnessnow@gmail.com, and somebody will get that over to you, that list to you. But these on the list tonight are a little bit different than are on there. And I mean, when it comes to the immune system and how it functions and what it even is, I mean, that can go on and on and on and on and on. I'd be on here for hours going through everything. And so, but before I go through these things, if you do not already have your tablet, if you do not already have a pen, I am mad at you because I told y'all earlier, grab something to write with. I might not have, but I was thinking it. Even if I didn't say it, I was thinking it. Make sure you have something to write with because this is going to be valuable information. If you can't get it right now, make sure you go back and view this and get this information and start to implement some of it in your life. Some of the information will be things that you've heard before. Some of it will be things that you have not heard before. I'm not going to go into that list that I put together in terms of that long list of every supplement and how much of it to take and so on and so forth tonight because we already put that in a document. However, again, you can request it. Now, before I get started, I have to say to you that anything that I say here, just for legal things, I have to do the legal jargon and saying that, you have to check out everything with your physician and make sure things are right for you. I have no idea what pharmaceutical drugs you may be on or if there's any contraindications for anything that you may be taking. I don't have any way of knowing that. And because I don't have any way of knowing that, it's important for you to make sure that things are safe for you. If you already know, you know, and we are good to go. All right. So let's start with the number one of our 10. We've got 10 people watching right now. Number one of our 10, I wrote some of these down so that I don't forget anything, right? That would be de-stressing, okay? Stress has a major, major, major impact on your immune system. And when I take people through, for example, when I'm doing spiritual counseling or coaching with them, the very first thing we do before we even begin is we do what I call the 4-4-4 breathing technique. Some of you may be familiar with it already. Some people do it for a count of 6. Some people do it for a count of 10. I do it for a count of 4, and it's actually very, very effective for my clients and even for myself. So when you're in the middle of, let's say a stressful situation happens, right? Or if you just want to be able to get centered, because again, that's super important for how you start the day. You want to inhale for 4, you want to hold for 4, and then you want to exhale for 4. So when you're inhaling for 4 counts, you're inhaling through your nose, okay? Then you're holding your breath for 4, and then you're going to release for 4 out of your mouth. So let's try that together, okay? Ready? So if you want to close your eyes, you can. I'm not because I'm watching y'all. Ready? Let's inhale. Let's practice this together. Ready? So inhale for 4. Hold. And exhale. Okay? And we do that for a total of 3 to 4 times. Let's do it one more time for practice so that you could just feel what it feels like. Some of you might be holding tension that you didn't even know you were holding. You might have had stress from the day that you thought you released because you came home, you had your dinner, and you kicked your feet up. But you might still be holding some of that stress from the day. Somebody might have ticked you off. We don't know. But the point is that you're able to do it and really, really recenter yourself. Now, one of the things that I do, I like to visualize words. So I visualize words that I want to see, and I see those words in my mind as I'm inhaling, and then I exhale exactly what I don't want, right? For example, I'll inhale the word peace and I'll see whatever, whether it's the word peace or whether it's something that reminds me of a peaceful state of being. And I will just inhale it and I will hold it and I will just imagine it going through every area of my body, starting from the top of my head all the way down to the soles of my feet. Why do I do that? And then when I exhale the stress or I exhale the situation. I do that because what I know and what ancestral medicine teaches, as well as what general medicine teaches and allopathic care, that is every cell in your body is intelligent. It all has its in it, and by its intelligence, it doesn't know the difference between whether the piece is real or the piece is something that you're just giving it. The cells are responding to your state of being, even your thoughts, right? And so we can think that, oh, just because I'm not yelling, or oh, because I'm not going off, or oh, I kept my cool, that doesn't mean that your cells aren't still feeling all of that stress and all of that tension and things that you are holding within. And so you literally have to let them know, because they're looking for you for a command, like, hey, are we good? Are we cool? You have to let them know that peace is with you, that peace is here, that it's okay to relax, to calm, right? Because that stress hormone, the cortisol, as and we're going to talk about that a little bit later on, that causes that belly fat, it causes all kinds of things to happen within your body. It's extremely, extremely important that you are de-stressing yourself. Some other ways that you can de-stress yourself are things like I love to do. It's music, it's dancing. I don't cook much without music, or I don't go to bed at night without having something that I've danced to, or that's just my evening routine, because I want to feel that sense of euphoria even as I lay down to rest at night. It may seem kind of woo woo, but the truth of the matter is it matters what you do, and your body responds accordingly. Okay. So that's number one, de-stress, because if stress impairs your immune system function. All right. Number two, this might seem like, duh, I already know this, but sunlight. I live in the Midwest. A lot of people simply, especially when it gets cold, they don't go outside, right? They miss out on the sunlight. Even if it's cloudy, we could still get some of those rays through, and some of the important things that our bodies and our brains need for awakening, for de-stressing, for even getting some of that vitamin D that we need from the natural sunlight that you can't get from regular food, right? It's so important that you get out, even if it's for like 2 minutes, even if it's cold. Get out, breathe in that fresh air, lift your head to the sky, and make sure that you're feeling all of that and allowing that to help you. You believe it or not, your cells respond to it, because we respond to the sun, we respond to natural light, we respond to being outside. There's something that happens within the brain that triggers us to say, okay, we're good. Okay. And then all of a sudden, you're empowering your immune system to work just that much more. All right. So when it comes to your vitamin D, though, there's something I want to make sure that I share. One of the things that is going to be so important for you, especially now, and as we move forward into the winter months, do not skip on your vitamin D. Okay. Do not skip your vitamin D ever. Okay. It is that important. When we're looking at what's going on in the world right now, and I'm not going to say the words, you watch the news, you already know what it is. Okay. It is extremely important that you keep at least 10,000 IU of vitamin D with vitamin K2 in your system at all times. The K2 is one of the cofactors for vitamin D3. You make sure that you have your vitamin D3 with K2. Okay, very important. It might also say MK7, right? But it's pretty interchangeable. Okay, so you want to make sure that you have both of them in your system, right? And of course, with the magnesium, and you can get that list too. But I want to make sure that you all know that your vitamin D with your K2 is extraordinarily important as a supplement, right? While we're at it, I'm going to show you this one here. This is one that I formulated. It's got a lot of the supplements that are on the list already in here. It's got things like baobab from the African tree of life. It's got things like moringa that has a lot of natural vitamins in it. It's got like black seed oil and hemp oil and CBD and all kinds of amazing things all in this one bottle. You can find this at lovebellativa.com. It is actually on sale, a massive sale right now, so you can get access to it. One of the things, as you guys know who know me, like it's not as much about profits for me as it is about helping people. Now, don't get me wrong, I'll make my money, okay? But I am always willing to put things on sale to make it more affordable for people so they can get access to it and give it to more of their family members, because it is that important that you have it. You take things like your Immune Shine every single day. Okay, I've got it right here on my desk. Wanted to make sure that I shared that with you. It is a shameless plug. Okay, it is a shameless plug, but it is what it is. Okay, and what if I formulated it, it works. All right, it just is what it is, and I'm gonna just say it because no shame in my game. I'm good at what I do. All right. So with that being said, vitamin D3 with K2. Get you some Immune Shine at lovebellativa.com. get your magnesium, and request that list. So who is this that said, I see somebody made a comment that said, I can't. Oh, someone said they can hear me. Okay, awesome. All right. Okay, thank you so much. And I see somebody said the products are phenomenal, y'all. Thank you. And somebody said, yes, you are. Thank you. I love you, whoever you are. I can't see your name. You got to enter your name when you got on StreamYard. But anyway, I appreciate the love. I really, really do. So let's move on to tip number 3, because I'm not going to keep y'all all night. I mean, I would love to spend all night with y'all and everything, but a girl got to get some sleep. So, with that being said, vitamin C, hugely important. Don't miss your vitamin C. And no, your orange juice is not enough. Okay? No, stop it. Stop. Stop thinking you can drink a glass of orange juice. You're going to see why in a minute. I'm getting ready to blow your mind with something when you see exactly why your orange juice is not going to cut it, especially not now. You have to have the right milligrams of everything. Hey, Sherry Marie, you have to have the right milligrams of everything in order for it to be effective, or it's simply not. Okay? Simply not. Vitamin C is going to be really important. There's 2 forms of vitamin C that I really recommend. One of them is making sure you get it from your whole foods, your green leafy vegetables, your citrus fruits, things like that. Your kale, your kiwi. Kale thickens your blood, just so you know. So for all y'all that think that kale is just so good for you, no, okay? Kale can thicken your blood, and if you're a person that can get, that has an issue with that, kale is not your friend. All right. There's other green leafy vegetables that you can have that are better. So, not saying that it's, well, we'll get into that another day. But the truth is the truth. Some people don't like hearing the truth. So, I got to be easy with y'all. With that being said, making sure that you're getting lots of green leafy vegetables, your citrus fruits, all those things. And even if you can find a whole food supplement of vitamin C, that's going to be a lot better for you than getting the synthetic vitamin C. Now, if you do go with a more synthetic vitamin C, like an ascorbic acid, I want to make sure that you get one that is liposomal. And what liposomal is, it is a fat or lipid. Okay. And that fat that's in there is going to help it be more absorbed by your cells. Okay. All right. So with that being said, okay, you got that vitamin C. Don't miss it. Don't miss it. 3,000 milligrams a day minimum. Okay. 3,000 milligrams a day minimum, or else you just might as well it's just not effective. All right. Movement. Super, super, super important to move if you can. Now, I recognize there are some people that are on here that may be impaired and unable to move, but if there's anything that you can do, whether you're exercising your brain but especially your body, if you have the ability to get movement, even if it's walking, even if it's starting off for 10 minutes a day, make sure that you're getting movement. We all have heard the stories, park a little bit further away. If you're in the Midwest like I am, you're trying to park as close as possible, especially when it's cold. But we certainly do run in the storm when that snow and that wind hits you. It's brutal. It's absolutely brutal. But I definitely want to make sure that you're getting movement every day, whatever your body can take. So, for example, people will say, well, I don't do well with aerobic exercise. Well, you might not. You know why? Because it depends on your blood type. For example, type A blood. Did you guys know that type A blood doesn't do well with aerobic exercise, but they do very well with things like yoga and Pilates? But type O blood, for example, needs to really work up that sweat. They're the aerobics, the cardio people, the weight lifters. And that's not to say if you're a type A, you can't do some resistance or strength training, but it is to say that if you have trouble with with a lot of high cardio exercises, that's because your blood type is not suited for it, right? Something to think about. But get some movement. All right. Now, with that being said, I see someone saying, hey, lady, I can't see who you are, but hey, back to you. Next, this is tip number 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't remember what movie that was from, but that was funny. It came in my head just now, but whatever. Adequate sleep. Super important. You know what I started doing? I'm going to tell y'all, my days are so much more productive. I started going to bed early, so I'm saying like Now, last night was too early. I admit, like last night, I went to bed at like 8 p.m. That was too early because I was up at 3 a.m. And I'm like, I wanted to get up around 4:30, 5 o'clock, not quite at 3 a.m. But so tonight, obviously, but I'm on live. But this time, last night, I was asleep. Why? Because I wanted to make sure that I got a head start on my day. Here's why I do that. When I get a head start on my day, I am, especially before, my son is up and getting ready for school, and I'm making sure that breakfast is ready. And did you get this? Did you get that? Make sure you got this. Oops. Make sure you got that. Make sure you da, 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 da. I'm not in mom mode. I'm not in nurturer mode. I'm in me mode. And when I'm in me mode, oh my God, I'm so much more centered. My immune system is able to function better because I'm not under the stress. I've taken the first few hours of the day before I have to leave the house, and I've gotten more done in those hours where I'm not having to, stress about hurry up and getting back and getting this done and getting that done. I can come back and take a little bit of a break. I can meditate. I start my days. I can meditate in the morning where there's no noise, right? I can pray and be one with God when there's no noise, right? Because it's me, it's my turn in the morning. So that's the reason why I make sure I own the morning, because I got adequate rest in the night. Okay. Now, some of you might be saying, well, I have insomnia, I have trouble sleeping. There are definitely things that you can take to help to aid your rest. Okay. Things such as melatonin. Some people take L-tryptophan for that. I have a melatonin cream that I am going to be releasing here in January for all of you. And it's really effective, especially like after you shower. So imagine this, ladies, for a minute, and gentlemen. Now, I don't know about you, but I take an evening shower every day, every night. I do not get into my bed with the day on me, right? That's just, to me, is, I want my sheets. I have to have my sheets clean, and I have to smell immaculate. That's just my thing. Like, so when I go to bed, I like, for me, it's my own ritual, right? And so part of that is making sure that I'm moisturizing even before I go to bed. Someone said, well, you don't get in the bed ashy. I don't want to get in the bed ashy. And for those of you who don't know what ashy is, that's the dry skin term that a lot of Black folk use when the skin, when you can write on your skin, when it turn white because it's too dry. I don't go to bed ashy. I don't want to. I want to wake up and feel refreshed. And plus, it's a great anti-aging technique as well, to keep your skin moisturized. But imagine, back to what I was saying, because I know I digressed or whatever, but imagine getting out of the shower and taking a pump or two of your melatonin cream and like rubbing it on your chest or rubbing it on your arms and allowing it to just relax you. It's like having like an evening spa treatment every day. It's luscious and amazing. And I can't wait for the release of that, because y'all going to love it. And if you're a guy and you're like, I don't need to do all that stuff, it doesn't matter. You can take some, rub it in your chest, rub it on your inner thighs, any of the areas of your skin that are thinner, your wrists, and allow it to get into your bloodstream, and then allow it to just relax you and soothe you as you drift off into dreamland. Can't wait. But some of those things are things that you can do. So L-tryptophan, melatonin, and making sure that you're getting your exercise and things so that your body is on the proper rhythm every day. You've got to align your body with the rhythm of the earth. This helps your immune system and all of your systems function properly. Okay, it just does what it does. And so I used to talk about CBD all the time, especially when we launched in the industry, because CBD helps the physiological function of every other system in your body. And so if you're completely out of whack and you're like, okay, I just can't sleep at all, you might want to try adding some CBD into your system, or cannabidiol, or some CBG, which is cannabigerol, which will help your body relax. It helps your body do exactly what it's supposed to do, and that is get back into homeostasis and or proper rhythm, right? So we are all a rhythmic people, and so you want to make sure that you are always in rhythm with the earth and making sure that your body is centered and able to relax. A relaxed body is a body that's not as stressed, and a body that's not as stressed is a body whose immune system has the ability to function as it is supposed to. All right? Okay. So, this one's going to be a good one. Number 6. Now, don't shoot the messenger, but this is the truth. You gotta reduce the belly fat. Yep, got to reduce the belly fat. So, how do we do this? And I know some women are going to say, well, I'm in perimenopause, I'm in menopause. Again, we'll talk about that later because I got something for you coming. So don't worry, we good. But there are things that we do, such as eating too much white things like rice and pasta and bread, that contribute to that excess belly fat, that adipose tissue, right? Now, studies have shown that particularly belly fat impairs the immune system function. Did you know that? And so the next time you're tempted to, grab that slice of pizza, and I'm not saying you got to be like ridiculous all the time. Like, I can be kind of ridiculous in certain ways that I eat. According to some people, like I eat right for me, right? Because I know what makes my body feel good, and I know what my body responds to. And I know, like last week when I had that pizza, I had no business having it. I went into Whole Foods. They had this vegan pizza. It looked amazing. I had it, but did I need the bread? No, I didn't. Right? I knew what I was doing. I made a conscious decision, and it was the wrong one. So now I had to then go back and do all kind of extra exercises and all that kind of thing. But what I am saying is, do what it takes to try your very best to lower your belly fat. Okay, it just is what it is. This is not a time when we can be playing with our immune systems. This is not a time. Okay, you guys watch the news. Y'all see it's how I say it. Y'all see what's going on. And if your eyes are open enough to pay attention to what's really going on, you'll understand what's going on. Saying all that to say, make sure you are boosting your immune system by decreasing your belly fat. Now, what are some of the ways that you can do that? This is one of the things that I take. Well, I do probiotics and prebiotics. Some people are familiar with probiotics. They already take their probiotic, but your prebiotics are as important to take. I'm going to show you guys the one I take here. This one, this is mine. It's called Fibermin by Thorne, but it's actually a prebiotic, right? So if I show you what's in here, um, it's got arabinogalactin in it, pectin, green tea, the phytosomes, etc. But I take this every day, and when I tell you, it does my belly some good. Like, I mean, it helps you to become more regular. It helps your probiotics work better. It's just a phenomenal product. And Thorne, even though they're not paying me yet, because they're going to. But Thorne is a phenomenal brand. And I don't just say that. I'm extremely particular. If you know me, I am very particular. People will say, well, which one should I take? They will call me. They will send me messages. Is this a good brand? Is that a good brand? And I'm going to say yes or no. Why? Because I do the research. I took the time to do the research so that I can share things with you all that are awesome and amazing and that I love. So the other thing that I most recently started incorporating is this gut. This is the L-glutamine. Okay, this is really good for the gut, especially for people who have leaky gut. So many people have leaky gut, but this also L-glutamine is a really good immune system booster and modulator. A lot of people don't know that, right? So L-glutamine, glutamine, L-glutamine, really strong and good for the immune system. I take this every single morning, and what I actually do, I take both of those and I mix them together because they're both really good for for the gut. And nothing goes in my body, not a drop of food goes into my body before my prebiotics, my probiotics, and my L-glutamine. Okay, nothing goes in my body before those, and it just helps my day. It helps my everything that my body needs to be able to break down. It breaks down, and it's really excellent for all of that. Okay, now here we go. Number seven. This one is going to be one that's going to be challenging to some of you, but that's okay because I want to challenge you. I want to be in your face about this one. Now, the one thing that does a sucker punch to your immune system is sugar. Sugar. Yeah, I said it. You want to fight? You want to fight? Huh? Sugar. You gotta let the sugar go, right? Anything that turns into sugar, your breads, this is again, let me just share something interesting with you about sugar. All right. Sugar. Okay, so let's just go back to immune system 101. What is your immune system in the first place, right? And then I'll explain to you why sugar is a no-no. If you can eliminate it, especially people who are addicted to having gotta have a candy bar, you gotta have some chocolate. This ain't the time, right? You could get away with that pre this time. You understand what I'm saying from the news? I don't want to get have my stuff muted, or you guys can't find it, but you understand the time I'm talking about that we're living in. Pre this time, yes, it was still bad, but y'all really can't play right now at all, like literally at all, especially in the winter months ahead, especially as the holidays are approaching. Immune system 101. Just if you really put the immune system simply, your immune system is like your army, right? It's your body's army. It's your army's bodyguards, right? They want to know who's at the door, right? It's kind of like my little dog Kenji. You come, if you step in front of my, if you step my driveway, my dog is going off, cold off. Okay, he is, you know, he is losing it if he even sniffs anybody coming near this house. Until he recognizes who you are. Oh, Kenji is going off. Well, your immune system does a similar thing. Your immune system is like watching, it's lurking. It's who is this? What you do? It's gonna look you up and down. Who you partner. Who are you? Right? It wants to know who are you. Right? And if it does not recognize you and give you the go pass, then it's going to attack you. Right, and it's going to do its very best to get you up out of the body through the mucus, through heating you up via fever. The people think that fevers are all bad. No, fevers are actually designed. Now they can end up being deadly, but they're designed to kill off and heat up the microbes or the bacteria or the pathogens, any of the pathogens that are entering into your body, parasites, whatever. That's what it's there to try to do. So if you look at what, and even when you're having a lot of mucus and a lot of drainage, that is just your immune system trying to trap those germs and get them up out of there, right? And so we need to say, yay, immune system, but we don't want to do things that's going to make the immune system harder to support us, right? And you don't want it to be more difficult to support us. So let me just tell you what sugar does. So what sugar does, when you enter it into your system, and let me tell you for how long it can do it. Sugar, when it enters your system, can weaken your white blood cells, your fighters. Those are your fighters. It can weaken them by up to 50% for hours. Hours. Y'all hear me? Hours. Can you imagine being out, having had a Snicker bar, having had a donut or whatever, and you're out and about in all this mess thinking, oh, I'm cool. I'm cool. I got this. I got that. I got the, you know what? I got the, I took my whatever. And you had those things. And now all of a sudden you're susceptible because you just weakened your fighters, your white blood cells by over 50%. Usually it's about up to 2 hours, but up to 5 hours, you can be defenseless out here, all because of sugar intake. Now, that's not going to be a popular thing to say, but I'm not here for popularity. I'm here to tell you the truth, right? And so when people see that I go to the store, they already know. If we're at a restaurant, they already know. Get her like I was arrived a little bit late at a restaurant when I met my son the other day. And when I arrived, the lady brought out my unsweetened hot green tea. And I said, "How'd you know?" He said, "Mom, you drink the same thing every time, some type of an unsweetened tea or water. I don't drink anything else outside of it. For example, maybe I might drink if it's a like a green juice or something like that. I might do something like that, but in general I don't do the sugar things. And part of that is because I had to retrain my taste buds. At first I couldn't stand the taste of water. I don't know, have you ever felt that way? Have you ever been like, ooh, water by itself is nasty? I don't know about you, but some people have just always loved water. I am not one of those people who have always loved water. I did not like it. I wanted something in it. I was the part of the Kool-Aid generation. I wanted, and I'm not talking about the little bit of Kool-Aid. I'm talking about the kind where you get the big bag of Domino sugar and then you pour it in there and you just watch it fill up almost half the damn container. Y'all know what I'm talking about with the Kool-Aid. I know. Hopefully, I'm not the only one that grew up on Kool-Aid. But I grew up on Kool-Aid and soda and root beer floats. And there was a Dairy Queen right up the street from my house at the corner. I used to go up there and get banana milkshakes. Can you imagine being walking distance from Dairy Queen and being able to go get ice cream cones all the time? And You know what I mean? So I had all of that. And so my taste buds were accustomed to that, right? I had no idea what was happening to my immune system. And so we go through all this, oh, it's cold season, it's this season, it's that season. Well, every season is the season to keep your immune system strong, right? There right now, and I'm talking about from now between and for the foreseeable future, we don't have time to play with that, right? Imagine a 50% weakening of your immune system. You're taking all the things that you think that you think is going to work for you. You're taking your vitamin C, you're taking your vitamin D. Your immune system's like, yeah, yeah, let me at them, let me at them. It's handling things. You're feeling great. Then all of a sudden, you done messed it up and made it 50% weaker. You don't have to. There are definitely ways, and I might end up doing a sugar challenge, especially and I know Dr. Latina, if she's on here, she does a really, really great sugar challenge, because that's hard for people to release. It's so hard for people to release the sugar, but you don't want your white blood cells sitting over there like it with unable to fight. I remember looking at it on a lecture video that I was watching, and they showed the white blood cells. They were trying, when sugar was introduced to them, it was like they started moving. They're normally very fast in their movement. They were very slow, like they were moving through sludge just from a little bit of sugar intake. Y'all don't play with this, okay? Don't play with this. Do what you can to start lowering your sugar intake until you can eventually be like, yeah, unless it's coming from a fresh piece of fruit or something like that, obviously that's going to be different, but you don't want to overload even on that, especially now. Okay. All right. If there's any questions, okay, so let me see. I see some questions. Can you type the names after? I see Eunice. Yes, I can. Absolutely. Hi, Elder John. How are you? Yes, I can type the names of the things that I had on here afterwards. Absolutely. And so let me see. I've got one more place I can go on here, and I'll look at those here in just a moment. I see that there's more questions coming in. All right. So, with all of that being said, we are going to move on to number 8. Let's see. I've got Sherry Marie. Oh, hey. Hi. Okay, Sandy's here. Awesome, awesome, awesome. All right. So, hydrate is number 8. Did y'all know that dehydration lowers the immune system function? Like, it seems like it would be, common sense, right? But you don't think about things like that. Like, wait a minute, not having enough water can impair my immune system function? Yes. Look at how much your body is made of water in the first place, right? So yes, dehydration, hydrating your saliva, that's one of your first lines of defense. So you can produce, the adequate amounts of mucus that's not too thick. You want to make sure that you are hydrating enough with the proper water. Now, somebody might ask, what is proper water? And there's going to be debates all over the place. I'm not here to debate. I will just tell you what I drink. So I drink spring water primarily, or I will drink some alkaline water. When I drink spring water, I add trace minerals to them because I understand that our mineral content is extremely important, and we're not getting enough of the minerals from our soil within the vegetation and things that we eat. So I'm really, really big on making sure that I get the vitamins and the mineral, but more importantly, which is, believe it or not, minerals are even more important than your vitamins. I get those minerals and I put them into my system. Okay. And it's my water. And for me, it makes the water taste better. Of other people, they put trace minerals in the water and they can't stand it. But for me, I love it. And so that's what I do, spring water, because it's from a spring. I just like things as natural as possible. That's just me. That's my thing. But I understand somebody might be a little bit different, and that's okay. All right. So, all right, number 9. Number 9 is fasting. Okay. Some of us eating a little bit too much. I'm gonna just say it. Some of us, we overdoing it. It's a little bit overkill, and I get it. Because some people are stress eating right now. Such a stressful time in the world, right? I get it. But when you're over consuming, you're not giving your body the ability to repair. During the fasting process, especially if you can either incorporate intermittent fasting, and for those of you who don't know what intermittent fasting is, it's where you set aside a block of time where you are eating, and there's a block of time when you are not. For example, let's say that you are intermittent fasting from noon, where your first meal is at noon and your last meal is at 7, right? And you don't have anything after that again until noon the next day. That's one powerful way of allowing your body to rest, recuperate, and allow your immune system to really do its thing. When your body's having to spend so much time digesting and so much energy digesting because you're eating too much, right? You're having too much food, or even if you could fast in general altogether, some people are more disciplined, or they have the body type that can handle just going on a fast or a liquid fast for 2 or 3 days a week. That allows your body to really, really repair. Your immune system can do some really magical things when it is not having to focus on checking for food invaders and what did you have, and are we okay? When people talk about it all the time. I mean, I remember seeing, reading all kinds of things when I was reading different medical journals and things, where the body was absolutely, I mean, literally healing itself with just fasting alone and water. I mean, amazing things were happening when you didn't have to focus on digestion. So this is all about giving your immune system the power that it needs in order to function properly and to be strong enough to support you, especially during the winter months ahead. Okay. Now, number 10, don't shoot the messenger on this one. Okay. I'm just saying, don't shoot the messenger. Okay. Right. Because I'm going to say something. It's going to sound fun for a minute. And then you're going to be like, oh, no, no, she didn't. But I'm just going to tell you what the research says. You can do what you want to do. I'm just going to tell you what the research says. Number 10 way to boost your immune system is sex. Yeah, man. Sex can boost the immune system. Did you know that? And so there's gonna be a whole lot of husbands be like, see, babe, I told you, see, we need to do a little something, something, because I'm trying to help your immune system. But here's the caveat, sir. Here's the caveat. This is what's interesting. The research shows that if you have sex 2 to 3 times a week max, that actually boosts your immune system. If you're having sex more than that, the research says that it actually lowers your immune system and has the opposite effect. And I think I have some theories as to why the immune system would be hindered by having sex more than twice a week. I think that it has something to do with people not replenishing their hydration, after they're excreting all that sweat and fluids and all that stuff. I think it also may have something to do with not getting adequate rest and being tired and wearing each other out, kind of going back to supporting some of these other things that we talked about there in the very beginning, right? And so, with that being said, if you're not having sex at all, it could be a time where you're like, finding ways to get cozy to one another again. And at least a couple of times a week, finding ways to enjoy one another and understanding that those endorphins, as well as, your immune system, etc., will thank you for it later, especially if it's within your abilities to do so. All right. So those are the top 10. And I'm going to give you a couple of bonuses, maybe just one bonus, maybe just one bonus. And then I'll see if there's any questions that I can answer for everybody. Just so you know, I am going to be back with more of these tips because, like I said in the beginning, there's so many. And I've held you guys, for 47 minutes and 47 seconds, 47. Okay, already. And so I don't want to overhold you guys tonight by going on and 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 on, because there's so many things that impact the way this complex thing called the body works, right? And so I hear people, they'll say, I don't want to take all that stuff. You've got hundreds of functions in your body and you're complaining about 6 or 7 pills. Like, make it make sense. Make it make sense. It doesn't make sense to me. It's like, why would you not want to support all those systems in your body? And then when it breaks down, y'all on my phone. I'm like, I told you what to take already. Hello? So, bonus tip that boosts your immune system. And this is science. This is science. So y'all know I can be silly. If you follow me at all at any bit of this time, I can be a silly goose. I get it. And sometimes I'm over the top, but I don't care. I'm who I am. Right. So with that being said, laughter is a huge boost to the immune system. Right. Did you know that? When I was doing the research, I'm like, that is really, really, really fascinating. it actually helps to strengthen it. And I think it might have something to do with all of the, the good hormones, is sending those messages to your cells that all is well, lowering your stress, lowering your cortisol, which is going to help lower the belly fat and all that good stuff. But laughter, when the scriptures tell us that laughter does the body good like a medicine, and when I tell you it does, it does. Now I have always been like this. Quick story, I'll tell y'all real quick. I used to get in trouble for my laughter. Like I would get in trouble, especially with my grandmother, because I would always somehow be at the right place at the right time for something wild to happen. And here I am laughing at it. My friends used to call me the queen of inappropriate laughter. And I don't know that my laughter was inappropriate so much as I just happened to find humor in a lot of stuff. Right. So I remember one time my grandmother got so mad at me. She turned around and she said, always damn laughing at something. Shut up. Of course, it made it worse when she was doing that, trying to make fun of my laughter. Right? Of course, it made my laughter even worse. I just thought that was a funny memory because I'm like, I just remember I have always found humor in a lot of things, and so it's like finding the light. Like that's my one of my favorite phrases. I mean, like I know there's a lot of darkness in the world right now. I know there's a lot of darkness on the planet right now. I know that so many people are grieving right now. I mean, there's been some tragic losses, tragic things happening. We turn on the news, we see what happened in Kentucky, we see what, and a lot of these things aren't things to laugh about. They're not things to laugh about. And while I get that, I'm like, how can we, and this is what my philosophy, how can I find the light? How can I find the light in the midst of the darkness? And for the, and I'll be starting to share my story and things, because when I tell y'all I've been through some stuff, I have been through some stuff. And so if anybody understands how to find the light, I probably could qualify as a person that can share with how to find the light in the midst of any situation. Because while there is always darkness, there's also always light, right? And so whatever we focus on can tend to expand. And so I find things to bring me joy on purpose. And I live joyful on purpose. It's a choice, it's a decision every single day. Every single day. And I remember, like, we've been thinking about, we just had the 2 year anniversary of the house robbery where our house was robbed and my son was shot. We just had that 2 year anniversary, and this year we made a very conscious decision to celebrate. We weren't going to anchor into the trauma. We weren't going to do that anymore. And it's easy to anchor into trauma, right? Especially now, as the holidays are approaching. You might not have family around. You might have lost someone that you really, really love and are missing this year, and that trauma is anchoring you down. You can't really figure out how to breathe again. My invitation to you is to surrender to the healing, surrender to finding the light, welcome the ability to see the light again. Because it's not like I don't get it. I've buried 2 children. I understand. I definitely understand. But I also know the liberation of what it feels like to let it go, to have that heaviness lift off, not let them go, not let the love go, but not anchoring forever after you've gone through the grieving process. Obviously, we'll go through that another time. But being able to surrender to grace and surrender to love and surrender to the light is the most beautiful thing, especially when you can see the darkness that you may have come from, the darkness that you have experienced, and to be able to experience the joy, it makes the joy that much sweeter. And it's amazing. Like when I look at my life right now, I'm like, I cannot believe the dream that I'm living right now. Like it's amazing, but it's intentional every single day. And it's not a fooling myself. It is, I choose what to anchor in every moment of every day. And so I invite you to let some light in, open some windows, find things that, new hobbies, new things that, even around the holidays, and surround yourself with things that you love. Even if there's no people around, find a group to join, find things that can bring you some laughter, some joy, because nothing, if I know if one thing that this time in the world has taught me is that some things just aren't as important as we thought they were, right? Some people weren't as important as we thought they were. I'm just keeping it real, just being honest. Things that we anchored onto that caused us pain and trauma just wasn't worth it. And so being able to live an intentional life of joy is one that can help your immune system go a really, really, really long way. Now, as we're getting ready to close out, I'm going to look to see if there's any questions. If you have questions real quick, I'll answer maybe 3 or 4 of them. And then the rest, I will be putting my calendar in. You can book me If you want to, I do the 1 hour sessions, typically on Thursdays and Fridays, because I get pretty busy during the week. So Thursdays and Fridays, I tend to book up pretty fast, but I'll put that in the calendar in case any of you would like either a health consultation or a spiritual consultation dealing with trauma release or any of the things that are holding you back from being able to experience the life that you deserve, the life that you want to live. Because I know trauma can show up as not having enough money, not going for your dreams. It can show up as a lot of different things, and you need to release that so that you can do what the world is waiting for you to do, what the world is here for you for. So 1 second, I'm looking to see if there's any questions. If you have some, hurry up and type them in, because I'm gonna just take a couple of them. All right, let me see. All right, I see Jerry Green saying, "Hey, Moni, what up? What up? What up? What up?" That's the big homie. All right, so let's see. I'm gonna go to the group here, and then I'm gonna go to the group there if there are no other questions. Oh, Patrice is saying love, laughter. Amen, sis. Amen, amen, amen. Yes and amen. I had a good talk with her earlier today. Hopefully it was impactful, because I sure got a lot out of it. All right, I see some hearts. Awesome. Thank y'all so much. Okay, so it doesn't look like there's any questions here, with the exception, I might not just be able to see everything right now. But with that being said, thank you. Thank you for being with me for this 55 minutes and 33 seconds. I appreciate you so, so much. And as I told y'all before, I love y'all. I really do. And it just means the world to me that you would sit with me for an hour and listen to me share some tips with you that are going to help you. I'm going to be back next week. And next week on Tuesday, I'm going to be back with Rami. Yeah, remember him from last week? Ramia was talking about astrology and placements and things that was at first way over my head, but then I started getting it, and there was a lot of positive feedback. Well, remember how we had to end it? Well, we're going to be back for part 2 next Tuesday. And because as it ended last week, he started going into sexuality and how that matters, and and sex and all that good juicy stuff that we're all interested in. We were leaning forward like, tell me more. Well, he's gonna be back next week for Let's Talk About Sex, baby. Let's talk about you and me. Hey, come on, y'all know the song. All the bad things that may, never mind, whatever, I can't sing, but anyway. So glad whoever that was said they really enjoyed it. I'm happy that you did. Thank you for coming. I hope you wrote down those tips. Watch your sugar, get your vitamin D, your vitamin C, your zinc. Request the list from Total Life Wellness Now at gmail.com. I will be adding things that you need to know about. I'll add them here in the broadcast. You can go back and look at them. If you don't see them, feel free to send me a message in Messenger. I will respond to you as soon as I see it. Okay. Anything else that you guys may have, connect with me. I want to connect with you. I'll be back next Tuesday. So don't forget, Tuesday night at 8, we got ourselves a date. It's going to be so great. See you. Whatever. Anyway, I love you. Bye.